Good afternoon, everybody, and happy Easter. This is Sterling Lee with another fascinating episode of Durham Unplugged. Today's guest is a very special guest, if I may. I say so only because this man I work very closely with, ladies and gentlemen, the Ward 2 local councillor for the town of Ajax, Ashmeed Khan. Hey, Ash, how you doing?
I am amazing, my man. How are you? Why do you
Oh,
look so fresh? What's going on?
I took a shower, and I take a shower like every 2 days. But
For
today,
me?
especially, I did my hair because
Oh,
we have a council meeting next week, and I have not put gel in my hair for probably since this whole thing began. So I wanted to make sure it looked okay, and I think it looks exactly the same. So
you look pretty. You look pretty, brother. You look good.
but you look pretty fresh yourself. What's your secret?
I just got it from a nap, man. That's
That a
all I
boy,
do. I sleep.
that a
I
boy.
drink. I drink orange juice. I sleep. I cook. Yeah, all the
Well,
good stuff.
I've been asking everybody to start this off. How have you been dealing with self isolation?
At first, I've always, you know me. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm always working.
Right,
I'm at the shop. I'm at council dealing with residents, and my mom told me a couple of days ago, she said, son, you've been working. My dad got ill when I was very young. And she said, son, you've been working nonstop since you were 16 years old. And this is the first time I'm seeing you get an opportunity to just sit back for a bit and rest because you
right.
were forced to. And Sterling, I've embraced that.
Good for
I've embraced,
you. I
yeah.
mean, well deserved. You've been working for so long. But I find like, Marilyn and I were talking about this of just being, we're all politicians, we're very social people. Not having that social contact is murder, as far as I'm concerned. Like that's the hardest part of all this. Would you agree with that or no?
I have been busy, well, with the social part, not the physical part. So there's
Right.
none of that. But no, I've been busy with the Muslim community has been very, very active.
Yeah.
They've been reaching out and they want to donate, and I mean the entire Ajax is like that. I know that, but I know the Muslims are very comfortable approaching me with, because I understand the charity that involves our religion and the zakat, and so they've been coming out. Even Mary Brown's reached out yesterday, and they wanna give like burgers and food, like, and their food is delicious. It's halal as
Right.
well. So they've been asking me, so I'm connecting them up with the office and see exactly, because I know. Do you know the Salvation Army? If I know we deal with them directly,
hmm
do you know if they take fresh food?
I don't think they do. I think it's only non-perishables. But there are. Well, you know what? I also think they deal with the homeless as well. So they might deal with that. So I think Lisa or Joanne's probably your best contact
Yeah.
there because they're
It's
on
like
our
so.
homelessness task force, right? But that's super cool if Mary Browns can do that because, you know, I think everyone keeps saying it. We're all in this together right now.
Yes, yes. A lot of residents have reached out with the masks and stuff and all. So, anyways, we're connecting. So I've been busy with that.
Good.
Um, yeah, there's no printing to be done, so I've been sitting back for a bit and watching it all unfold.
So give me a day in the life of Ash during this. Do you get up, you work out, do
I
your
said I
Def
was
Leppard?
working. Is it that obvious? Yeah.
He's,
No, I've
he's
been training. Like I've been training. I've been eating well.
right.
Lots of protein.
Nice. Are
Lots
they
of
a sponsor?
yes.
No free rides on this show, Dash. No free rides.
Lots of good stuff going on. I get up, I train, I clean, I cook, I read, I sleep, get
What are you,
up.
oh, time out. What are you reading right now? I'm calling shenanigans.
Um, I've been reading one book for
Okay,
for 25 years.
well, okay, so that's it. What book is it, if I may ask?
I have it. I When I got married 25 years ago, my wife's father gave me this book,
Okay. How to Friends
Win
and Influence
Friends,
People.
Influence People by Dale
I don't know what
Carnegie.
that word says. It's How to Friends right now.
Oh yeah, well it's well
How to
read.
lose friends? How to kill friends? I don't know. What's that? That's a pretty key word to be missing.
I'll leave that as a
Yeah,
secret.
that's fill in the blank. You can
How
literally
to
fill in the blank.
question our friends and influence
Yeah.
people. So he gave this book to me because there's no brilliance here, obviously. So he thought I probably needed this more than anybody else he's ever met.
Right.
Because he was not very impressed with me. So he gave me this book. And I read it and I read it and I read it. And I've implemented everything that is me, that is Ashmeed, is from this book. And afterwards I got into business and I got very busy, and then the stress of business. And I did a follow-up with this one,
Oh, okay.
How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. This book is what's going to get us through these times. It has formulas to not worry and actually to be happy and to deal with stuff. And
Is
with
the
my,
Carnegie estate paying you to say this? Just asking.
he's
Are you getting
dead
a
like
check? You're getting a check from this one.
centuries ago. He's 18 something. And
Right.
all that he says in these books is so relevant to me being a Muslim and me being a Canadian and a business person. It's still very, very relevant. Right. So yeah, so I've been reading this one,
Okay.
right? So I sit down and I read, and so yeah. So yeah, I have been reading. I
I'm
have
just
my,
checking. We never
yeah.
talked about books. Well, now that hold on, let me show you mine. So I just happen to be in my library. I haven't read this in a while, but this is The Power of One by Bryce Courtenay, and it's about this little boy who grows up in in South Africa during apartheid, and he doesn't really understand the racism and everything, and he was always bullied, and he learns how to overcome adversity through boxing. And it's just about the power of one, which is there's the motto that's it's first with the head and then with the heart. Because I find a lot of people tend to be very emotional without thinking through the steps. So this book has taught me, if anything, and I don't necessarily always listen to it, but try and think out your next steps before you give it 110%. Because if you get 110%, 110%, and you don't think about it, then it's probably not going to end up well.
True.
It's my
So
favorite book.
don't overthink. I think the biggest thing I've gotten from this that I've implemented into my life is live your life in one day, tight compartments. Let the past bury its dead and let the future work itself out tomorrow. But live today in the present. And the word present is like a gift, a present. So live
Oh.
today like it's a present to you. So
Well, I should. I
that's
live my life a quarter mile at a time.
a quarter mile at a time.
That's what Mr. Diesel taught me. So yeah, that's
Oh,
how I live my life.
like Vinny Diesel?
Do you know another Diesel?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's from the Fast and Furious movies. I
That's
live my
the,
life a quarter mile at a time.
oh, Fast and the Furious, baby.
Yes.
Got you. Now I know what you're talking about.
And what are you watching on TV, Ash?
Oh my God. Vikings. I binge watched the entire series, 6 seasons,
Is it
20.
done?
Hey?
Vikings done?
It stopped in the middle of the crisis. They were in this final season 6, and they were like episode 10. Usually goes to
Oh,
20, and then they shut down. Right? So that's down. That's done. And then a great passion of mine that's uninhibited and that I always wanted to unleash was cooking. So I went into Gordon Ramsay. And one of the reasons why Gordon Ramsay
you
was
stupid cow.
what?
That's what he calls people. I don't know. That was my 100% impression of Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
So
My kid's like the one when he puts a burger, like two halves of the burger between somebody's head and said, "What are you? What are you?" And he says, "I'm an idiot sandwich." So that's my kid's favorite one. But he was just in Guyana a
Okay.
couple months ago. And what he's been doing, so I started looking, why was he in Guyana? He's been flying to different weird parts of the world but that he thinks has crazy cuisine. And he would study their cuisine, and then he would cook for a big feast that they would have in that country at the time. So I found it on TV. It's called Gordon Ramsay Uncharted, UNCARTED. And I think he got cut off. He got to six episodes, and then Guyana didn't make the cut yet, but it's been amazing. So I got hooked on the dude. So I started looking at Gordon Ramsay, Hell on Wheels. It's all reruns, obviously.
Right.
And he would go to restaurants, and then he would
save
them back in 24 hours.
Right.
So I've been on that. I've been looking at Tiger King. I watched it out in one day.
Yeah, it was kind of bad.
Yeah, but for some reason I couldn't stop.
Yeah, that's how it describes it. It's you can't look away from this train wreck that is all of those people.
Yes.
All of them are the worst.
Yes, but I'm not a bit smarter after looking at it.
I know not to own a tiger, if that helps. Like, I never wanted to own one, but I know not to own one.
Yeah. They eat a lot. So yeah, that's what I've been watching. What about you?
I've been watching Better Call Saul, which is the sequel to Breaking Bad, which is phenomenal. And then we've also been watching MasterChef Australia because, yeah, if you like cooking shows, you would thoroughly like MasterChef, specifically Australia, though. Just the three hosts are incredibly charming and they're very supportive.
Who are the hosts?
You wouldn't know them, but and I didn't know them, but just like
Ramsey.
no, but when you watch it, it's just a really I find like American reality TV shows, everyone's trying to be look at me and everyone's trying to like screw each other over. Whereas this is like the most positive reality show because like everybody wants to help each other, even though they're competing against each other.
MasterChef Australia.
So specifically, so I think it's going one of your streaming boxes or whatnot. But if you can find it, it's a very very good watch. So check that out.
Okay, look at that next. You told me before when we closed on March 17th, you told me to look at West Wing.
Yeah, Lisa and I were talking about that. West Wing is a phenomenal show, and
How
like I
long?
think, sorry,
How many seasons?
I think it's six, and the writer Aaron Sorkin is just a really really good writer as far as I'm concerned. So he also did The Social Network, he also did The American President, he did just a bunch of other shows, and just writes in a very quick way that I have since adopted because I don't know how to speak slowly anymore, as you have learned over time.
Yeah, okay. I'll probably check that. When I'm all exhausted of all my entertaining shows, I like stuff that makes me laugh. I like comedy. I like comedy.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Also watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
Dude, I found a Chinese comedian. He's actually half American, half Filipino.
What's his name?
His name is Joe Coy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know Joe Coy.
My God, this guy, I was addicted to, I watched everything on YouTube. He had me tripping. I really enjoyed him.
My favorite Asian comedian right now is Ronnie Chang.
Okay.
He's on The Daily Show, but he also has a Netflix special, which is pretty hilarious.
Johnny Chang?
Ronnie,
Ronnie. Okay.
Ronnie. So check out that Netflix special. And then John Mulaney. Have you watched his Netflix specials on Netflix? Obviously.
No.
Yeah, check him out. He's like probably the best stand-up comedian, and he's like younger than I am right now too. So it's incredible how good this kid is.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And how's the family?
Family is good. Family is amazing. Everybody's isolated. Everybody's doing good, man. I think everybody's embraced they understand that we got to write this out. And I kind of tell the kids it's like a slingshot effect. And all the people that I discuss business with, let's consider this a slingshot effect. We're gonna wind back, and then we're gonna go off. When it's all over, we reset, we strategize how we're gonna come back on the market. If we can, I personally don't know if I'll be able to come back out in the market.
Right.
To be quite honest, if about the kids are great, but going over to segue into this, we stopped council like physical distancing in council March 17th. That was a Tuesday.
Yep.
Wednesday I went to my store in Pickering and I realized even though I am an essential service, I felt quite hypocritical having my store open.
Yeah.
So I closed it on the Wednesday, the day after, and I put a sign out and I said, listen, we're going to work online and we're going to drop ship everything to you. I sent out this and I haven't worked, right? It's going into the fourth week and starting the overheads are still there. The overheads.
Isn't there like, isn't there like rent exemptions and all that, all those programs with the government?
I have not been qualified for anything. Right. So I've been bearing the brunt of it. And I'm thinking now, I called head office on Friday. I said, listen, if I'm going to go down, right, which is a very good, we don't know how long how long are you going to keep your head above pushing that kind of overheads every month out of your savings, out of your line of credit? How long are you going to do it for until you fry and you drown? So I decided if I'm going to go down, I want to go down to helping community. So I called a meeting with my head office, Minuteman Press. We're a franchise. And I want to give them to give me a strategy or some system that I have. So right now I have over the 15 years I've been in business, I've invested about $1 million over in equipment that's there, that's all paid for. So I don't have any leases, it's all mine. And I have thousands and thousands of dollars in paper and stock. If I were to go under, it's dump. It's all garbage. So, and I still have ink and stuff inside. I want to find a way to help our community with printing at no cost. I already have it. As long as they want stuff that's gonna contribute to this crisis that we're in,
Right, and help people.
help people. I don't want a penny from them, but they've got to use what I have in stock. I don't want to pay. I don't want to have a bill from the paper company because you
Sure.
want a color of ivory for your flyer. You know what I mean, right? Which is what we
Yeah.
do now. So I don't want to be taken advantage of at the same time because I understand where we are.
Right.
So I called a meeting. I want to discuss that further, how I can use up what I do have. And I'll do it on my staff went home the next day. There's nobody working. My building is there, right? And if I again, how depending on how long it goes on for, right? If it keeps on, we have to, it's done, it never comes back up, then I want to make sure that I did something for I want to go down. I want to, if I go down, what my passion is helping people, helping our community.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've seen that firsthand through our work together and more too, right? Like that's definitely a passion of yours. Now you said you want to use whatever paper you have left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have white paper?
Yeah, lots.
Okay. I know. Just being a jerk.
I got all kinds of.
So I hope you have plain white paper because that'd be funny if
I
you
got
don't have that.
15 years of inventory piled up in there. It's great. I got good
So let me
stuff.
ask you something. You've been in the business for 15 years. You would be, well, like I was in cellular for 15 years. And during those 15 years, I would consider myself a bit of an expert on cell phones, right? If you had a question, I could answer it. Would you consider yourself an expert on paper? Like,
No.
could you feel a piece of paper and be like, oh yeah, that's so and so, blah blah blah,
Yeah,
3
yeah, oh,
quarter.
yeah.
That's
Definitely.
pretty cool.
Well, I've been doing this for 15 years in Canada, but I've been doing this for 27 years in total since I was 23. So in Guyana, I had my first print shop in my dad's garage. But I put some canvas on because we have like the wire doors, like the
Mhm.
steel doors, and I had some blue canvas. What do you call it? Like tents or whatever in front to have privacy. And I had my machines in there working as when I was 23 years old. And when I had my own print shop and I built from there. So yeah. But in Guyana then you only had red ink, black ink, and blue ink,
Right.
and white paper and ivory paper. That's all you had.
So everything was a combination of those like 5 things, right?
Yeah. When you mix blue and red, you get purple. If you put
Let me
red,
write this down.
I got
Blue
it.
and red is purple, you say?
If you
How
have
is
red
that
and blue,
new
you get
today?
burgundy. Blue and red, you get purple. Red
Right.
and blue, you get burgundy.
But wouldn't you need yellow as well to create your greens and oranges?
Yeah.
But you didn't
Yeah.
have that. You only had
No,
red, blue,
we don't
black.
have green and oranges then.
So
Orange is yellow and red.
hold on. This is really
Got
important.
it. I got it in my head. You need
And
it. I got the inks, man. I'm in Canada now. But I've got again, but all the offset presses and stuff we bought for 60, 70 grand like 10 years ago, they're worthless now. Everything is digital.
right.
Everything is digital. From your computer to it's amazing, it's easier. But I printing has been generous to me. And I've done it. And my passion is now in, I wouldn't even say politics. You know me, it's all about community.
Right.
I don't think I'm a politician. I don't like the fights
Well,
and all
whether you
that.
like whether you do or not, you are a politician, right?
I am a politician, but the community and the residents and having that relationship with the constituents that you and I have, and they can reach out and they feel comfortable with us. That's my passion now. And I like
So
my position.
what's been the most surprising thing to you since we were elected? I think like a year and a half ago, right? So in that year and a half, what's been the most surprising thing to you
How
as
much
a counselor?
you remember when we were knocking the doors and meeting the streets, you told me to go meet a few people,
Right.
and I went and met a few people, and they gave me this impression that we had no authority to do anything.
Right.
And you might have had the same impression, but you are from this background, you know better. I didn't. But when we got into office, and the team is so fantastic we work with, and I realized the most surprising thing for me then, now,
Hmm.
well, I'm used to it now, is how much we can actually do for our residents.
It's true.
And it's a joy and it's an honor.
Yeah.
It's a good surprise. For you, what's yours?
How much fun I'd have. like I guess like like you're supposed to love what you do, right? If possible, if you love what you do, then it's not work. I mean, I'm sure Dale Carnegie said that in one of your books over there.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I didn't think it'd be this much fun. Like I always, every job I've had, there's been degrees of fun, and it's fine. But I just find like with this job, I just enjoy it a lot. I enjoy just talking to people and helping them find their issues, and even like the bad, even when people are mad at you, the people of Ajax have never personalized it. They've never been like, oh, Sterling's a bad guy, right? So at the end of it, if I can make them smile, even though they can't get their lawn cut a certain way, then I consider that a win. So yeah, I've just had a really fun time with this, and I think it's part like I try not to take anything too seriously, and I imagine that's a mindset you have as well. Like if I always try and find the jokes of thing. What's the funny angle? How do I make something funnier? Because
We do
I
have a
don't
lot of fun at our townhouse, don't we?
we do have a lot of fun on our channels. And so that's why like the minute I stop having fun, the minute like I treat this, I become a serious individual and like counter to how I was raised, then that's when I call it quits because it's not worth it at that point. But for now I'm having a great time, and it's I mean I'm very blessed to have you as my local counterpart because we seem to understand each other on a really fun
Yeah,
level, and we
yeah,
always try and find the jokes of things. So I
yeah.
never want that to change.
Nope, we're working at
But
it.
you're talking about possibly going under, which hopefully is the last case scenario. Don't you have an MPP? I don't know, best friend who can help you?
I
Don't you have? I don't know. Is it one of your very good friends, Rod Phillips, the Minister of Finance?
I don't like asking for help. I did okay, the printing has been so good to me, like I was saying.
Right.
I don't really want to, I don't know. I just want to live every day in day tight compartments and see what happens.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Because I'll
I'm
tell you,
prepared.
like I'm obviously friends with Mark Holland, our MP, and the Chief Government Whip. And if I have a problem with my passport, if I filled out a form wrong, I'll go to him first and be like, "Hey man, did I do that?" And so just I'm surprised you haven't reached out to Rod because I'm
I
sure
don't have a
he.
problem. I don't have a problem. That's the thing.
Well,
I
you're talking about possibly going under, which is very alarming for me, right? Like, don't go
um,
under.
well, under because depending on how long we take to come out of this.
Right.
But the bright side that I found is that I can go under with a big smile on my face, help doing what I love most, our community, Sterling.
Yeah, but
So
keep doing it is what I'm saying. Keep doing it, and don't go under yet. I just fixed my screen, anyways. But yes, talk to Rod, would you? He's a good guy.
but like for what? For money? I'm good. Like
Not
I'm
for money, but I'm sure there's some government program
he's the
that's
minister.
literally meant to help small business users. In fact, I guarantee there is some sort of small business subsidy you can apply for.
Maybe I want to stop working. You ever
Okay,
thought
well
of
that's different then. That's different.
oh, you can't take a hint?
No, I'm very bad on subtlety. I'm very. You have to hit me over the head with a
Well, the
sledgehammer.
good thing the good thing about working so hard from such a young age, as mom reminded me, is that I don't have any leases. Everything is mine. The
Right.
property, the equipment. I I don't have to like worry how to pay people.
Sure.
Right. So this is where I'm comfortable.
Good.
And
No, that's good.
it served me well. It's put me in a good spot. So worst case scenario, I still own my property that Minuteman has bought for me.
Right. You
Right.
just put up a tent there and live there. Worst case scenario.
I can sell it. I can rent it. It's like
Use
it's a
that
great
canvas. Use that canvas you used back in Guyana,
the
and
blue
you can
one.
just live there, right?
The blue one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
Uh,
it's a really nice place. Yeah.
so we're talking about our senses of humor, and I'm very curious. This is actually a question. You're one of the funniest people I know. Where do you think you got your sense of humor from?
Hard life, man.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
gotta you gotta laugh at stuff. You're gonna go crazy.
That's
I
true.
don't know. No, I'm from a big family. I've four sisters, a brother, and in our house in Guyana in Providence, all my uncles and aunts and everybody lived with us. And my grandfather would just extend the house. So there's this big, massive family who's hilarious.
Right.
Like my family is a riot. It's a show every time you're with them. I guess it's gotta be. And this is why I talk so fast because you gotta get your 2 cents in because
Yeah.
everybody has
That's how I
something
feel too.
going
To be
on.
honest, that's actually a really good way of pointing it. Yeah.
Yes.
I
But
think I was thinking back on it.
where'd you get
Yeah.
yours
I think a big part of my sense of humor came from the Looney Tunes. Like just watching a lot of Bugs Bunny cartoons. Like it's just I don't know. Like if you go back and watch those cartoons, like they taught me everything from like comedic timing, repetition, and absurdity. Just like, like one of my favorite characters is Michigan H. Frog. It's the frog that goes, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling." Because I remember watching that as a kid and just loving it. Because it
Oh
was
my
so absurd that this like homeless man finds this shoebox with a singing frog, and it's just like he wants to make money off it. It's so frustrating for him that the frog will never dance when you want it to dance. And that is kind of just like, not to be like too metaphysical, but just like that's kind of like the way the world works, right? Like nothing happens the way you want it to happen sometimes. You just have to just let the frog dance and enjoy that for what it is, rather than like always try and make money off it or do
yeah.
that. So yeah, definitely the Looney Tunes was a big part. Because I think back, like my parents were not very funny people. They were nice people. I loved them, but they didn't really have like a keen sense of humor. And I think a part of it was also, to your point, I have two older sisters who are infinitely smarter than I will ever be in my life. One of them is like, I think she works for the federal government. She's a federal prosecutor. So she's like putting behind, like, yeah, in the state of New York. So it's super important. My other sister, she's just a very smart person. So like one day she was working at Canoe, which is some 5-star restaurant that I've never been to. And she was like, you know what? I'm going to get my
Toronto? Here.
master's. Yeah, in Toronto. And she was like, I'm just going to get my master's in library science. So while working as a sous chef, like 15 hours a day, the last like 9 hours, she got her master's in library science and then worked for the Ontario legislature for a bit. So I'm the dumb one of the family. And so I always
You have a
felt,
brother as well.
oh, my brother's a dentist. So I'm quite literally the dumbest person in my family. So it was important for me to like stand out. And I think like I always had the performer bug in me of just like wanting to be like center of attention and whatnot. And so I'm doing this a lot. I don't know why. So I think, yeah, I think that all came from that. Like if you look at all my report cards from kindergarten to like grade 8, it was like, Sterling's a bright boy, a good student, but he needs to focus more in class, because I was always like the class clown. And that
Yeah.
was never by, like, again, I didn't learn it from my parents. It's just something that I always naturally was. So,
My kids are like that. My 5 kids are hilarious. Like they're so entertaining. You can spend all day with them. Very, very, very
oh, I
witty.
have. And they're wonderful, wonderful kids.
Yeah. Yeah. So no.
So, Ash, this is our time actually. It flies by. It absolutely
Wow.
flies by. I know. Before we go though, is there any business or nonprofit you want to highlight? And I can put it in the comments below.
Oh well, I did tell you earlier about Mary Brown's, which
Yeah.
I'm very impressed about. Also, I know. Yeah. So my favorite food is Persian Middle Eastern food. All the
Hubi.
shawarmas and stuff. Right? What?
It's how Persian people say hello. They go Hubi.
I know. What did you call me?
Yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of Persian friends, and I'm always like
Yeah. Okay.
Hubi.
Yeah, so I know like Hellman Kebab remained open, Pita Delights remained open, and I just discovered Persian Hut right beside T&T Sushi, and they closed right during the pandemic. Man, that place was
Oh,
amazing. But yeah,
okay.
I'm sorry for that. But Osmos, I think and because I'm watching these Gordon Ramsay cook shows, and he's going into restaurants and how dirty they are, and I've been looking at our restaurants in Ajax, so pure and clean, and they cook in front of you, and it's really it's really great. So no, I think I don't have to highlight any particular business, but I think they're all working really hard, and they're following all the rules. I went to Hellman Kebab one day, only 2 allowed in the restaurant at a time. I was very impressed.
Okay.
And business is slow for everybody too, right? So
Sure.
yeah, and I don't want to highlight my own business, but like I just mentioned, I really want to go down serving this community.
Okay. And so on that note, how would people reach you then?
My website, ashmeedkhan.ca. On Instagram, it's Counselor Ashmeed Khan. It's the CLLR, Ashmeed Khan, and Twitter, Counselor Ashmeed Khan, and Facebook, Ashmeed Khan.
I was gonna guess that. I was
You
gonna
can,
guess that.
yes, my name.
And last question. I mean, it's Easter. Any plans for dinner? What's for dinner tonight, Mr. Chef?
I haven't decided.
I'm gonna cook some ramen. Peanut butter and jam. I don't know. Just keep it simple.
Quickly, I've learned to cook now. I thought, but
Which,
I
by the
have.
way, we've seen no evidence of this. So at one point, the next time I bring you on the show, well, I need you to bring some sort of proof that you
All
cook
right,
something.
I will. But I had to ask mom. I said, listen, everything I cook tastes the same. right? Like if I cook cabbage and chicken, it tastes the same. I cook with eggplant and beef, it tastes the same. And
Right.
why? So she said, well, you stop using the same
Salt
seasonings.
seasonings, right?
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's what I'm working. Oh, Lena's Roti is selling roti skins for $1.50 for a big roti skin. Like it's frozen. That's
Okay.
close to you. Close
Is
to
that a good?
us.
Is that I don't? I've
It's
never.
right. It's in your
No,
symposium
no. I've
glass.
been to Lena's, but I'm wondering, is that a good price for roti skins?
$1.50's got to be a good price for anything, man. I don't. I
So
just
you
thought it.
don't know either. Okay, so Lena's roti skins for $1.50. Next time Ash is back, we're gonna get him to show us some of the dishes. Take
Yeah,
pictures if you can too. I definitely want to see these.
man.
Mr. Khan, thank you so much. I
Hopefully.
miss your face. Hopefully, we'll see each other face to face soon. But in the meantime, I think I'll see you next week at our council meeting.
Yes, you will. And I'll probably put some color in my beard. How's your beard coming along?
Oh, this whole thing? Yeah. So it's
Oh,
38
yo,
years, and I got
killing it.
little stubs. So
You're
working
killing
on
it.
it.
You're killing it. We stopped
Thank you.
shaving about the same time, right? March 17th.
Again, 38. I haven't shaved in 38 years, so this is all I get. So we're still working on that. But sir, it's absolute pleasure. You have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you next week. All right.
Time for my nap.
Enjoy nap too.
Nap
All right.
too.
We'll see you everyone. Bye.
Thanks for having me on your great show.
Always.